we're trying to add to the Cardano ecosystem and the world in general. So, I'm going to be introducing Genius Yield and Genius X, and specifically want you to think about DeFi for everyone and accelerating Web3. And we'll talk more about those as I go along. Okay. Yes. So the two companies, Genius Yield is unlocking DeFi or decentralized finance for everyone. And just to give you a breakdown of centralized finance, it's basically, imagine if you can do lending, saving, borrowing, insurance, but not have to use a centralized authority in between. So, for example, right now most of us hold our bank accounts at Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Chase. And these guys have the power over your funds. They can freeze it at any time. If you send too much money, they can pause it and say, call us to talk about it, and all of those things like that. So decentralized finance essentially removes that intermediary and authority where nobody controls it, and it's purely done by code instead. And so just as the chat was talking about, the thing you need to do is take your money off of those exchanges, download a wallet, and then stay to BBH and then. And so you have control of your money all the time. The second one I'm going to talk about more in detail is Genius X, and they're a Web3 accelerator. And so, as you know, Cardano added smart contract capabilities or the ability for you to build decentralized applications, whether you're trying to build a stable coin or a video game or decentralized exchange. And many of those companies.
So I'm here today with my brother AJ. So you're here today at the Cardano Summit. What brings you here first?
So honestly, I just moved to Houston not that long ago, and I'm always in the nature of expanding my mind, expanding who I hang with, and networking, trying to find different opportunities to help me expand in life. And I feel like the Cardano Summit, they did that, even they brought me here with you guys to have this interview, and I just want to say I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And just, just trying to better myself economically, financially, spiritually, in every aspect.
But just to kind of backtrack first, it seems like you're ready, you're kind of into the crypto space. What got you into crypto, first of all? Okay. And what keeps you in crypto?
Okay, so I like that one. The first thing is, why I got in crypto is because I don't believe in the nature of working a job and your money just going towards bills. I want to find a way to multiply my money, right? I want to find a way to add, certain annual yields per year on my money, my income that was coming in. And I remember I went through Bitcoin, I was looking at Bitcoin and stuff, and I had sent some Bitcoin to a random address on Cash App or something. Instead of getting discouraged, I actually did more research. So it started for me trying to find out a way to see how to get my lost Bitcoin back, and I found out it was decentralized, you couldn't get it back, it wasn't owned by anybody, and that sparked interest in me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I have with me my own African brother from Nigeria. He's doing some wonderful things. My brother Kenya from Kenya. You from Nigeria?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. I grew up in the United States, in Arkansas, and been working for a while, did finance and oil and gas and stuff, and then eventually found my passion in crypto. And I now work for a company called Genius Yield. And Genius X, Genius Yield is a project they're building a decentralized exchange and yield optimizer on Cardano. And Genius X is a Web3 accelerator for startups. So we help accelerate startups achieve their goals, whether it's financial planning, investors, tokenomics, marketing, and help them just go from the ideal stage or MVP stage all the way to full product launch.
Well, first of all, I want to know what got you into crypto, and when did you get into crypto? That's a question most people get.
Definitely. So, just like everybody else, I think back in 2016, I started hearing about crypto, things like Bitcoin, and then, I looked at the technology and I said, wow, this is really revolutionary. So just like everybody else, you probably opened up a centralized exchange account about Bitcoin. And then after that, I started researching more, and I researched Ethereum, and it's smart contracts. I said, wow, this is the future. This can change everything. This can really create a worldwide operating system that's decentralized and very open to everybody. And then so Ethereum was my next one I got into, but then obviously looking into Ethereum, it's a great operating system, but you see some of the defects in the system is the transaction costs, transaction speed, and things like that. So I researched more and more. So there's one downstairs on Cardano. And going into his technicals is, it's understanding the UTXO system and the lower transaction costs. It's built for scalability and being parallel. And I said, wow, this is what I really like. And so since then, 2017, I've been in Cardano. I've watched it grow from it just being regular, basically almost centralized coin to introducing staking to smart contracts.
You were part of that transition because you came in at the right time. You got in. That's where all these updates were coming up. Well, thank you guys for turning in. Today I have with me Miss Lucy, aka Inatur, and you actually hosted this blockchain, Cardano event today. Tell me about it. How did it all start?
So Cardano Summit is a yearly event that Cardano hosts so that we can get more people into the ecosystem, do some education. Last year, the main event was in Wyoming. That's where my first experience with the Cardano Summit was. It was amazing. And my goal for the next year was to host it here in Houston. So this is where we are. Almost a year later, I'm hosting it in Houston, Texas. And I'm so excited that you came. But right now, it is like a global event. So there's like cities all over the world doing the same thing we did here today, just to bring more awareness to Cardano.
Right. I gotta say this. This was an amazing event, and the very fact that the Cardano Foundation funded the event, is it?
Definitely, the Cardano Foundation funded this, all the venue, everything here. So we have a lot to be grateful for because they really did put out a lot of effort so that cities can benefit from knowing about Cardano.
Guys, I gotta tell you guys this event today was so awesome. This would cost at least minimum like $400. It was like if you had to pay to come in, I got it for free. But this is what this space is doing. The very fact that we can be here and learning all of the speakers we had today, all for free, because Cardano Foundation wants to make sure they educate people.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
That is the goal. And, we're really passionate about it because they also have Cardano ambassadors like myself. So it doesn't end here. So we will have monthly meetings every month here in Houston, locally, and we just kind of get together. It won't be this fancy, but it's just to make sure that people know that we have a presence there and that we care. Like the Cardano Foundation just cares and wants to get the word out, and we want to get more people involved that they want to care. So yeah, it's super important. I think it's really good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you everyone for tuning in. This is another video for the Liberian Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Forum. And today I have here with me Maribu, aka one of the most famous Twitter guy on the Cardano forum.
So I'm not as famous as Vivo and Coin. Hey, I can hold my own, right, Vivo?
Right? And Jeff, you were one of the hosts of the blockchain event.
So it's separate.
Yeah, well, so my wife is the host, and I'm like the support behind the host. So like I'm the one who provides all the muscle. So no, we do these events in Houston every month. We haven't done them in a couple of months because we did CNFTCon and we did Rare Bloom, and obviously we're trying to get together for this. But we do a Houston meetup once a month. I try to do it once a month. and it's to help educate Houstonians and well, anybody in general about Cardano, what Cardano has to offer.
So I guess my question now is, what attracted you to Cardano, and when did you start on this whole Cardano's tree?
Yeah, so I mean, last year we were kicking around like, what long term, like retirement, like what are we going to do for retirement? And we were looking at stocks, but it was we were like, man, there's got to be something better out there. And we got into crypto and we started. Actually, Doge was kind of our entryway. And we got into Doge and we're like, man, it really doesn't do anything. We didn't really understand it. So when we started doing some research and talking to friends that had been in crypto, they mentioned Cardano. I was like, man, it's different. And so when we watched Charles' whiteboard, it was kind of game over for us because we saw like kind of a passion that we hadn't seen from other founders. And so, I think his message is that he really wants to change the world. And for us, we don't have grandkids yet, but if we have grandkids someday, like I think it's something that we can do, leave a legacy for our grandkids and our great grandkids and our generations to come. And so I know like today we have a lot of economic troubles, but those things can be fixed. They're just systems. And so like I think Charles brings like when he did his whiteboard, we were like very intrigued because it's just a passion that I've never seen from anybody. And I like Charles a lot too, like Steve Jobs, right?
Yes, I was impressed with that whiteboard presentation too. And I can admit that presentation actually really got me into crypto.
And investing in
I was a little bit in the crypto space at the time.
one thing that I would say is the diligence on some of these
this
products.
third generation
They were
cryptocurrency,
right? So they were
And he talked about obviously
but that was like
saw some of the issues that cryptocurrency were facing, right? Scalability, interoperability, sustainability, and Charles was talking about and governance, right? Governance, which is like sustainability. I thought that was amazing that Cardano is actually focusing on that. So where do you see Cardano in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Well, the vision that I like about Cardano and being in part of the Cardano community and meeting people like you, certainly,
there's gonna be a lot
is that we kind of shared this, this tossed around a lot today, the community. It's really about supporting each other and supporting initiatives that help solve fundamental problems we have. Like we just had an election. There's a lot of problems in our election system. Blockchain could totally solve that, right? I mean, and Charles talks a lot about the governance part of Cardano, how voting systems need to be updated and help hold people accountable and responsible. So I think for me, like the nomenclature or what we hear in the media about crypto is always kind of the negative, or you only hear about the bad things. You never hear about the good things that are happening in crypto. And I think it's because there's a lot of people that don't want the change. And so crypto offers us a way, I don't want to say fighting back, but it offers us a way to kind of change the systems in the future slowly. And I think Cardano is very passionate about. Notice Charles never talks about the price of a token or any of these things. He never gets in these conversations. His is always like a very visionary, a very focused. Like, this is what we're doing. Yeah, what we're doing for the future and what we're trying to build here. And so, I think that the people with the money out there don't really want to hear that because they like the system because they know how to exploit the system.